has your contact experience changed over time?
Yes, big time. It seemed like from my childhood was a lot of testing. Were testing my body to understand, I guess, my central nervous system and to understand some of the contaminants that were going on in the environment around me. They were testing the water. They must have known that the fluoride was started to get implemented in the town that I lived in. So they were testing food, and there were certain things that I innately knew to eat and to not touch. And so they were doing a lot of testing when I was younger. And then I started to get the trainings, the teachings, like in my, as I got a little bit older, I started to get information about cosmology, the nature and structure of the universe. I started to get teachings on healing. So that was a big shift. And recently, like in the last year, it's really been about when my heart is really coherent, when it's that sense of the feeling of oneness with everything around you, and you're not in a meditative state, you're just in, your day-to-day state. I'm seeing the ships. They're letting me know that this is it, the heart dial has to be on a certain frequency, and then boom, you can see them. And what's been happening is the people around me are seeing them as well. So what I believe, and that's exciting, it's like when you love something, you want to share it with somebody. You don't want to just contain it. You want to open it up and share it. So that's what's been happening over the last 6 months to a year at this point. When you're in that right, high, open, robust, clear, coherent state with the Earth's frequency in the cosmos, you're able to hold and be that bridge for other people to see around you. And God, that's so exciting for me. And I'm loving what's happening and shifting in other people as a result of that.
That is so beautiful. And we did an interview with Cara Bernarda, who is working a lot. She worked with HeartMath Institute, etc., and is bringing a lot of those teachings forth as well. Yeah. And it's such a powerful thing. I always say that we came into these bodies and we left the owner's manuals behind. And so what you're speaking about with learning how to work our heart coherency, really what it's opening up to is our multidimensionality. This is the singularity within the body that gives us access to all of these other realms of consciousness that are right, ready, and available to make contact with us.
Yeah, exactly. And now knowing what that feeling feels like for example, one of my big loves that I'm working with is new technology, new resonant technologies, and and I'm really adamant about this. This is not something that I will shake or compromise on anytime soon. If anything, it's only going to get stronger. We cannot create these new technologies unless we have a balance between the male and feminine energy in the creation of them, in the birthing of them. Because if they are operating on a field of consciousness that is universal, well, that's the male and feminine energy. And so therefore, that's how it needs to be birthed. And one of the things that I will really clearly say is it's definitely time for women to, if there's not a seat at the table, for them to take a chair and put it in there and find a seat at the table. Because that's what I'm doing, and I will continue to do that no matter what, because the female is not represented. It's sorely lacking. It's sorely lacking in our science. It's sorely lacking in our leadership. And there's not a lot of time left for us to think that someone else is going to do it, or if it's not done so right, that it's okay. I mean, there's an isness to this that's a reality, and that piece really needs to shift and come into play. So it's something that I feel really strongly about, because I've seen too much of it, I've seen enough of it, and I see what misses as a result of it. It's like this, it's like, how can you analyze a spreadsheet if you've got 1,000 items on a spreadsheet and you want to analyze the information? When you work without the feminine piece and you're working with just the male piece, you're working with half information. And then where does that lead us? So, we need the complete package in order for this thing to go, in order for this thing to work. We don't need more of the same energy. We need a balance of both. And, you know, it's beautiful to see men be able to come more into their power, and to see the beauty of who they are, and also the same thing with women. It's beautiful to see that union and that connection. And so that's another aspect of this that's highly important that we address and that we actually, you know, take some genuine action on.
Well, I think that's such a beautiful point that you're making, and it really all begins and ends inside of us to find that balance and then to bring it forth in everything that we do. And as you say, it's so important with technology now because we're moving into higher levels of understanding of bringing technology through. And so the technology, as you say, must come through a balanced channel. We have access to so much information about higher levels of technology. In order for those technologies to serve the well-being of all of life, it is the frequency that they're brought in through.
That's right.
That affects how they're used.
And just to drill down to a different level of detail, the intention. You know, I got really clearly in each one of my contact experiences that this is not a joke. You know what I mean? This is not just about, oh my God, you see a ship and I have contact. It's not about that. This is about deep, positive evolutionary stuff to keep a human species going in a direction that creates a amazing potential for us. That is what it's about. It's and being, you know, I'm a mom, and being a mom, you know, you want the best for your kids, right? You want the best for your child. And I have a girl. I have one child. I have a girl, and you know, you want the absolute best for her. So, you know, when I look at the connection with the beings, it's similar to that. It's protective in some way, but you know, they can't do everything for us. They can guide us to a degree, but again, they can't do everything. And you know, it's just really important. It's not trite. If anything, it's probably one of the most important things on our planet. You know, is to understand the connection with our greater, whether they're interdimensional or they're galactic. You know, I think it's a little bit of both. To understand that we are so much more than what we've been led to believe. And not only that, but there's a lot of people for us to play with out there. There's a lot of people for us to interact with and learn from, and for us to teach things as well. So, you know, it's not about a trite thing. It's about something really major and really important. And God, our planet, is in need of this right now.